Hey Matt, Jessica from Peterson SEO here. Earlier I spoke with Dylan and he thought you may be interested in this video. So today I just want to walk over a few tips that can really help you guys online to be getting more of those organic leads each month, okay? So first let's start on your customer's journey, and that is going to be with a search on Google. So when your customers need your services, they are, and especially in an emergency, they're not looking for your brand name or your business name. They're searching their services and related questions for their services. So it is important for each of these major keywords, for each of the areas you serve, that you guys are showing up in those results. And there's 3 spots that a business can own positioning in Google. The first spot is going to be your Google ads. Those are your cost per click ads as well as your local service ads, and about 10% of people actually click through the ads. The second section here is your Google business profile. And your goal should be to be in the top 3 of this section. If we hop on over to the Aloha page, we can see that you guys are in the top 3 for this specific search. Hopefully you are for your other services as well. But if not, there are 3 main factors that go into ranking and getting in this top 3. And the number 1 is something called citations, which are simply directory listings of your business name, your address, your phone number, and your website, and listing those in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Yelp, and Glassdoor. And that is important to be in a lot of those, because then throughout the internet, all of these platforms are showing your information, your relevance to Google, and how it relates to what you do, who you are, and how it relates to your website. So it is really important. And so you always need more than your competition. And then it's also important not to just set it and forget it. This is very fluid and continually changing. And honestly, depending on where your customer is searching from, your position is going to be different. And so it is really important to keep optimizing this every single month, adding new photos, updates, etc. Okay? And the reason for that is because 30% of people come straight to the map pack here and won't go anywhere else. So if you're not in that top 3, they're going to your competition and you're leaving money on the table. Now, the third section is your organic section. This is the most important section because 60 to 70% of people skip everything else and come right here. And so when your business is not listed on the first page of Google in the organic section here, you're missing all that traffic, you're missing all those jobs. And so you want to make sure that not just your homepage, but you're showing up here for all of your services. And to do that, that requires a fully optimized website. Okay, so let's go back to your website. You got a nice looking website. I like that you have separate pages for each of your services, which is absolutely critical, especially with all of the latest Google algorithms. Google requires 1 page dedicated to the service. So that also allows you to write your content around your local buyer intent keywords for each of these services. And to understand that keywords often have many variations. So you might have like Portland water restoration, Portland water damage restoration, Portland water damage Portland, water restoration Portland. So you can see how there's a lot of variances in there. You want to capitalize on those because everybody searches differently. So you need to capitalize on those keywords. You do have a click to call up here, but it's kind of scattered. I would just make this your phone number and leave the rest of the junk out of there. But yeah, click to call is good. And you have a form up top, which I highly recommend. You want these calls to action on every single page, no matter where they land, making it super easy for your customers to find you. And yes, I do see you have a chat bot down here, which is fine. Um, but you just want to make it easy for your customers because they're not going to search for your information. Um, this is good. I would use this as a call out. Available 24/7. 45 it take 45 minutes to get to the job site, whatever. I'd use that as call outs, or I'd focus on local keywords with this. Okay. So we can tell, that you're in Oregon and you're kind of focusing in this Portland area, but you're not really going after those keywords. And so Google does not rank websites based on appearance, it's based on your content. And that includes your images, that includes this written content. Google sends crawlers to your website to crawl the website to try and learn what they can about you. And so if it doesn't have the right content or doesn't have enough content, not focusing on keywords, Google doesn't really understand what you're about and doesn't know how to put you in front of your customers. So it's really important this is done correctly. And we don't just want generic information. We want information that is built around those keywords, but that is conversational, that relates to your customers. With the latest Google algorithm, that's pretty critical. They don't want just generic information. They want information that's going to resonate. So you have a fair amount of content, which is good. You got the interlinking of these service pages, which is good. So that's I like the content. Keep it up. And then I also noticed you have some FAQs down here. So FAQs are awesome, especially as things are progressing towards AEO, Ask Engine or Answer Engine Optimization. But don't use one sentence answers. You're gonna want 100 words for each of these. That is going to help you. Now SEO is the foundation for AEO, but when it comes to Ask Engine, people start asking ChatGPT and Siri and all those questions you want to come up. And so you need more data, more information here to actually pull up when that happens. And then I also noticed that you had 2 county pages. You got blogs, that's great. Although there's been no blogs since December, so you want to make sure you're doing those monthly. Both this Hillsborough County and Clatsop County, if you look at the lower part of my screen here, these go to the same page. So there's an issue there. But I did look at those. You do have county pages, which is great. But we need to take that a step further. You really need each of the cities or major cities that you serve that have search volume. And we need to have separate service pages for each of those. So you can be targeting each service in each location that you serve. All right, let's go to your competition. Your competition here is ServPro. Yes, it is a franchise, and yes, it is beatable. You're not competing against the whole franchise, just their location, and they only have a handful of zip codes that they can serve. They're also at a disadvantage because franchises don't let them modify this and go after their own keyword strategy. They just get these generic pages with their information that same pages everybody else gets, but it just has their information in here. So you guys are at that advantage. So just having more content, better keyword strategy, with the right SEO behind it, and you guys can beat these guys. Now, if we look at your ratings here, this is a paid tool called Ahrefs, tells us how your website performs. You guys have a rating of a 9 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow, which isn't too bad. This score is mostly based on your backlinks and referring domains. While you do need a lot of backlinks and you do need more than your competition, you don't want just any backlinks. This is a popularity contest. It needs to be the most relevant backlinks to your business. You don't want ones from Pizza Hut or the best Prada purses, right? Because it has nothing to do with your business. Those are spam and it will hurt your score and hurt your ratings. So you want to keep your backlinks to what's relevant and do follow. Now, a referring domain is any website that provides your website with a link from their site to your site. And the backlink is that physical link. If you think of your favorite power tool, okay, that does not work unless it has power, just like your website needs power. So when you plug in your power tool to a power source, like the referring domain, it sends power through that power cord, which are backlinks, and it fires up your tool so you can use it. And it's the same thing with the website. You do have a good amount of content. So you have been indexed for 169 keywords, but you're only getting 23 people to your website. So you're missing out on a ton of jobs. Just not having that proper optimization, those proper service area and service pages. If we look at your keywords, you are ranking for a couple of your keywords here. So that is a plus, and you do have other keywords that are beginning to rank. But they need more work. So that is a plus. And then you want to go and get some of the other keywords, some of the more higher volume keywords. So you guys are on the right track. You just need to get it dialed in. If we look at your competition, we don't care how their website performs. You're not competing against that. You're only competing against this area. And they have no backlinks, referring domains. So everything is pushed from the power of the website. That's how important the power of your website is. They've only been indexed for 38 keywords compared to your 169. They only serve a handful of zip codes. So they're getting over 290 in traffic compared to your 23. And that is because they rank. They're ranking for those keywords. So they have some of the higher volume keywords ranked on here, and they're ranking for them. So it is very doable to beat these guys. You guys just need to dial in that content keyword strategy and build your content around it, and then have your SEO support that. Hopefully you found this information to be helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we'd be glad to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.